He woke up at 3 in the morning for the 247th night in a row, heart pounding, wondering if she was texting someone else. 6 months later, he finally walked out the door. You won't believe what he told me about the exact moment he knew it was over. Before we continue, please subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell. What I'm about to share with you could save you years of wasted life and thousands of dollars in therapy. This is about knowing when it is time to leave her and how to find the courage to actually do it. His name was Vincent, 54 years old, divorced once in his 30s, remarried in his 40s. When I met him, he had been with a woman named Diane for 6 years. 3 years dating, 3 years married, and Vincent looked like he had aged 15 years in those 6. He came to me because his doctor told him his blood pressure was dangerously high. His therapist told him he was showing signs of chronic stress disorder. His best friend told him he did not recognize him anymore. But Vincent could not leave. He sat in my office, this successful executive who ran a team of 50 people who negotiated million-dollar contracts without breaking a sweat, and he said something I will never forget. He said, "I do not understand what is happening to me. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Yesterday she told me she loved me more than anything. Today she will not even look at me, and I have no idea what I did wrong." That is when I knew exactly what Vincent was dealing with. He was not in a difficult relationship. He was in a toxic one. And there is a difference. Let me tell you Vincent's story, because if you are reading this, there's a good chance you are living some version of it right now. Vincent met Diane at a charity fundraiser. She was 46, attractive, well-dressed, articulate. She worked in marketing, had her own apartment, seemed financially stable. The first 3 months were incredible. Diane was affectionate, attentive, supportive. She called when she said she would. She made plans and kept them. She talked about the future. Vincent thought he had finally found a mature, stable woman. And then around month 4, something shifted. Diane started canceling plans at the last minute. She would not return calls for days, then reappear with vague explanations about being busy. She began picking fights over small things. Vincent forgot to pick up milk on his way home, and Diane erupted like he had committed a felony. He suggested they visit his family for Thanksgiving, and she accused him of trying to control her. He complimented another woman's dress at a wedding, and Diane did not speak to him for 3 days. Vincent, being a reasonable man, tried to talk about it. And that is when things got truly strange. Every time Vincent tried to address the pattern, Diane would either deny it happened, say he was being too sensitive, or flip the script and make herself the victim. "You are always criticizing me. You do not appreciate anything I do. Maybe I should just leave if I'm such a terrible person." And Vincent, who loved this woman, who wanted the relationship to work, would back down. He would apologize. He would promise to do better, and the cycle would start over. For 6 years, Vincent lived on this emotional roller coaster. Good weeks followed by terrible weeks. Promises followed by betrayals. Connection followed by ice-cold silence. And through it all, Vincent kept trying to fix it. He went to couples therapy. Diane refused to go after 2 sessions, saying the therapist was biased against her. He suggested they take a vacation to reconnect. Diane agreed, then picked a fight on the plane and did not speak to him for the entire trip. He bought her flowers, cooked her favorite meals, wrote her love letters, and Diane would accept them, then 3 days later accuse him of not really caring about her. Vincent told me the breaking point came on a Tuesday evening. He had worked a 12-hour day, came home exhausted, and found Diane sitting on the couch, scrolling through her phone. He said, "Hello." She did not respond. He asked if she was okay. She rolled her eyes. He asked what was wrong, and Diane exploded. "You never ask how my day was. You only care about yourself. You walk in here expecting me to drop everything and pay attention to you. You are so selfish." Vincent stood there stunned. He had literally just asked how she was. And that is when it hit him. Nothing he did would ever be enough. Nothing he said would ever be right. Because Diane did not want a partner. She wanted a target, someone to blame for all the chaos inside her own head. Someone to punish for problems that had nothing to do with him. Someone to make her feel powerful by making him feel small. Vincent came to my office the next day. He said, "I think I need to leave, but I don't know if I'm being reasonable. Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I'm not trying hard enough. Maybe if I just figure out the right thing to say or do, she will go back to being the woman I fell in love with." And I said something that changed his life. I said, "Vincent, the woman you fell in love with never existed. That was a performance. This is who she actually is, and you cannot love someone into being healthy. You cannot sacrifice yourself into fixing someone else's broken internal world. All you can do is decide whether you want to spend the rest of your life being emotionally abused or whether you want to save yourself. Vincent sat there in silence for a long time, and then he said, "How do I know for sure? How do I know it is really time to go?" So I told him what I'm about to tell you. Here is how you know it is time to leave. First, you cannot remember the last time you felt safe with her. Not happy, not excited, not in love. Safe. If you are constantly walking on eggshells, constantly monitoring your words, constantly bracing for the next explosion, you are not in a relationship. You are in a hostage situation. Second, she makes you doubt your own sanity. This is called gaslighting, and it is one of the most insidious forms of emotional abuse. If she tells you things did not happen the way you remember them happening, if she denies saying things you clearly heard her say, if she makes you question your own perceptions, your own memory, your own reality, she is not confused. She is manipulating you. Third, nothing you do is ever good enough. You buy her flowers, she complains they are the wrong color. You cook dinner, she criticizes the way you cut the vegetables. You try to talk to her, she says, "You talk too much." You give her space. She says you are distant. This is not about you failing to meet her needs. This is about her using your efforts as ammunition against you. Fourth, she threatens to leave whenever you set a boundary. Healthy people respect boundaries. Toxic people see boundaries as attacks. If every time you say no, every time you express a need, every time you push back on something unreasonable, she threatens to end the relationship, she is not trying to negotiate. She is trying to control you through fear. Fifth, you have tried everything and nothing changes. This is the big one. If you have gone to therapy, read the books, had the conversations, made the compromises, and the relationship is still a nightmare, it is not going to get better. Because the problem is not the relationship. The problem is her, and you cannot fix her. Vincent finally left 3 months after that conversation, and it was not easy. Diane did everything she could to keep him hooked. She cried, she apologized, she promised to change. She told him he was abandoning her. She told him he was cruel. She told him no one would ever love him the way she did. And Vincent, to his credit, did not fall for it. He packed his things, moved out, filed for divorce, and blocked her on everything. And you know what happened? Diane moved on in 6 weeks. She was posting pictures with a new man within 2 months. The woman who said she could not live without Vincent, the woman who begged him not to leave, the woman who said he was her soulmate, replaced him faster than he could replace his driver's license. And that is how Vincent knew he had made the right decision, because Diane did not love him. She loved having someone to control, and when she lost that control, she simply found someone else. Vincent came to see me 6 months after the divorce. He said, "I cannot believe how much energy I have now. I sleep through the night. My blood pressure is normal. I feel like myself again. I did not realize how much of my life force she was draining until I got it back." That is what a toxic relationship does. It does not just make you unhappy. It erodes your health, your sanity, your sense of self. It turns you into a smaller, weaker, more anxious version of yourself. And the longer you stay, the harder it is to leave. Because you start to believe that this is normal. You start to believe that all relationships are this hard. You start to believe that you deserve to be treated this way. But you do not. Let me tell you about another man. His name was Brian, 61 years old, been with his girlfriend Karen for 14 years. Never married her but lived together for over a decade. Brian came to me because his adult daughter begged him to get help. She told him, "Dad, we cannot stand watching her destroy you anymore." Karen was 58. On paper, she seemed fine. Good job, nice enough to other people. No obvious red flags. But behind closed doors, Karen was a nightmare. She belittled Brian constantly, called him stupid when he made mistakes, told him he was worthless if he did not do exactly what she wanted, accused him of cheating if he so much as looked at another woman, monitored his phone, his email, his schedule, demanded to know where he was every minute of every day. And Brian, who had been in this relationship since his late 40s, thought this was normal. He thought all women were like this. He thought he was lucky to have someone at his age. I asked Brian a simple question. I said, "If your daughter was in a relationship like yours, what would you tell her to do?" And Brian started crying. He said, "I would tell her to run. I would tell her she deserves better. I would tell her that love is not supposed to hurt this much." And I said, "Then why are you staying?" Brian did not have an answer. Because the answer was fear. Fear of being alone. Fear of starting over at 61. Fear that no one else would want him. But here's the truth about that fear. Being alone is not the worst thing that can happen to you. Staying with someone who destroys your spirit is the worst thing that can happen to you. Brian finally left Karen 8 months ago. He is 62 now, and he told me last week, "I wish I had left 10 years ago. I wasted over a decade of my life being miserable because I was afraid of being lonely. But I'm not lonely now. I'm peaceful, and peace is worth more than any relationship." So here's what I want you to understand. If you are reading this and you recognize yourself in these stories, you already know what you need to do. You're just afraid to do it. And I get it. Leaving is terrifying, especially when you have been together for years, especially when you are over 45 and starting over feels impossible, especially when she tells you that you are the problem, that you are giving up too easily, that you will regret it. But you will not regret it. You will regret staying. You will regret wasting more years of your life on someone who does not value you. You will regret the damage to your health, your happiness, your self-respect. So here's my advice. If you have tried everything, if nothing has changed, if you cannot remember the last time you felt at peace in your own home, it is time to go. Not next month, not after the holidays, not after one more conversation. Now, because every day you stay is another day of damage you will have to heal from later. Make the plan. Find a place to stay. Talk to a lawyer. Tell your friends and family what is happening so they can support you, and then leave. Do not try to make her understand. Do not try to get closure. Do not try to part as friends. Just go. Because toxic people do not let you leave peacefully. They will fight, they will manipulate, they will make promises they have no intention of keeping. And if you engage with any of it, you will get sucked back in. So you have to be strong. You have to choose yourself. You have to walk away and not look back. And I promise you, 6 months from now, you will wonder why you did not do it sooner. You will sleep better. You will feel lighter. You will remember who you were before this relationship slowly destroyed you, and you will realize that being alone is not scary. What is scary is spending the rest of your life with someone who makes you feel alone even when you are together. Vincent is dating again now. Nothing serious yet, but he is enjoying getting to know people without the constant drama. Brian is traveling, spending time with his kids, rediscovering hobbies he gave up years ago. Both of them told me the same thing. They said, "I cannot believe how much better life is on the other side. I cannot believe I wasted so much time being afraid to leave." Do not waste any more time. If you know it is over, if you know she is toxic, if you know staying will destroy you, then leave. Choose yourself, save yourself, and trust that there is a better life waiting for you on the other side. You deserve peace. You deserve respect. You deserve a relationship that adds to your life instead of subtracting from it. And if the relationship you are in right now is not giving you that, then it is time to go. If this resonated with you, do me a favor, subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell, share this with another man who needs to hear it. Because the truth you just heard, most men will never accept until it is too late. They will stay in toxic relationships for years, decades, entire lifetimes, because they are too afraid to be alone. Do not be that man. Be Vincent. Be Brian. Be the man who chose himself. Thanks for watching. Take care of yourself. And remember, leaving is not giving up. Leaving is waking up.